Hey, what's up, guys? Back with another stream, this time X-Plane 11. Thanks for joining the stream, appreciate it. Get my music at the right level here. And looking forward to a nice flight with the Seneca V, Carenado Seneca V, and we're going to be flying in Hawaii. Got a multi-hop trip here planned, and should be a lot of fun. Alright, let me just take care of one thing. Alright, let me just appreciate you guys joining. Alright, let me show you what we're going to do today. Let's see, what do we got here? We're going to be in SF. Let me just show you the trip first. And there we go. This is Sky Vector, so we're going to be going from Kanahawi, which is an Air Force base. I have a hard time pronouncing these names. Then we're going to head to a quick jump to Kalalaua, PHJR, drop off 5 people there. Then we're going to cruise, stay close to the islands so we can see some landmass. So we're going to get into, Lanai City Airport. And then we're going to head back from Lanai City and head back to Kalalau. Easy for me to say. Each trip, I think, will have at least 4 passengers. Most of them have 5. So it's about 189 miles round trip. And I've got my GPS vectors all set up and loaded into my GPS on the Seneca. Let me just show you what we got first for Flight Sim. Takanaka Chanka, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Thanks for joining the stream. Some college kids who attend my state aviation college said that they use a VR setup for helicopter flight simulators. Cool. That's cool. I could see why, because it's very realistic for sure. All right, so we're going to start in PHNG, which is kind of high. I'm just going to say the letters because it's hard for me to pronounce, all right? And then we're going to end up in 19 miles to Kealaua, whatever it is. Then it's like 70 miles to PHNY, and then heading back to PHJR. And there's a trip, so we've got 5 passengers to the first leg, 5 for the second leg, and 4 for the third. Total of about $6,800 in assignments. We already have 60 gallons of fuel, but I'm just going to just do a calculation. 5, and let's just say 200 miles. So we got 26 gallons. We have plenty of fuel. We have about $350,000. I still have my Beechcraft flying in Charlotte, North Carolina airport, but just does not be getting much action. What can I say? All right, so we got these. Let me just do this so you can see it in order. So those are the 2 departing flights, and we should be good to go. So let me get back into the cockpit, and oh, looking nice, and wow, it looks awesome. I haven't been in this plane in a while. Looks awesome. I don't know where the runway is, though. I think it's in front of me. There's no signs to the runway. I think it's right over there. All right, let's get, you can see we got the GPS already loaded. We're using our a 430. A 430. Now we're gonna have to get up a little bit high to get over those mountains to hit on our first leg, but shouldn't be too much of a problem. All right, let me see what we got here. Let's check the outside. outside of the plane. Let's check our controls. There's our rudder, ailerons, and elevator all working good. Cool. There's the Seneca V. It's the Carenado Seneca V. Piper PA, what, 44, I think it is? Maybe 34, I can't remember. All right, and yeah, the detail on this plane is just awesome. We don't need that. And, all right, let's get FSEconomy loaded up. I don't want to miss that on that. Logging in, you guys can't see this. All right, I got my flight loaded. 2 assignments and 50 gallons of fuel. I'm just going to double check that to make sure that's okay. And it is. I got my passengers. So we'll head on our first leg now. Once I get in the headset here, I can't see chat, guys, so I won't be able to answer any questions. But once I get in the air, I'll be able to do it. This is going to be a quick flight to our first leg. So let's go. Wish I knew where the friggin' oh, so maybe it's over there? Oh, yeah, because we got to take off that way. Okay. There it is. Yeah, we have to take off towards the mountains. Just have to remember my controls here of this plane. Haven't flown this plane in a while. Doesn't get great frame rates. 19. But I do like flying it. Got enough runway there? Yeah, I think so. I already picked up our first leg. Well, I've actually, you know what? I think I better back taxi here and get a little bit more room. So great flying in VR. I know I say that every time, but it's really true. All right. Let's get our flaps to 1. And let's want to juice up the engine here. We don't want to. We don't want to over rev it. Here we go. $70 knots, and rotate. Nice. Very nice. Gear up. Flaps up. Now, this will be a short flight. I do have the Ortho 4XP in Hawaii, so that's why scenery looks so nice. Take a look outside here. Go for that little shallow air area there and get right on our GPS vector to our first stop. I love flying in Hawaii. Hawaii and Alaska and California, Southern California, my favorite areas to fly. There's so much cool stuff to look at. Where are we at? 1,600 feet? I mean, this is normally probably too close for comfort in real life, but in the VR world, we'll make it right through without a problem. See that? Just a quick jaunt across the island here and make a little money. Do I have my lights on? I thought maybe I didn't turn the lights on. Where are they? Oh, they're up there. Let's not worry about that now. Yeah, they're on. All right. Where are we here? "12 miles out, start to come down a little bit. We're a little off the mark here. All right, 10 miles out. I might have to do it past the airport and figure out how I can figure out where the runway is and stuff. All right, we're 7 miles out. Let's see if I can zoom in and take a peek of where this thing is. Oh, I see it. All right. Okay, I'm going to have to get over here. All right, we're at 1,000 feet. Start to slow the plane down a little bit. Gear down. Three green. 2, 3 green. Flaps down. We're running at about 110 right now. Get ourselves lined up. Prop is in. Mixture is in. Gear is down. We are good to go. Flaps are full. We're coming down slow. 85 knots. Keep that nose up. $80 knots. $75. Come to 75. Try to keep this nice and smooth. $75, $70, nose up, and nice and easy. Stop right here. Beautiful. Set parking brake. Set parking brake. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Beautiful. All right, first leg. Got to shut her down. We'll start this thing up again in a second, but let me just make sure my FSEconomy is. I stopped the flight. Finish flight. Beautiful. Got my first leg done. Made about 1,300 bucks, and we've got our second leg with 5 passengers. How much gas we got? We got 55 gallons. Beautiful. Start flight. Okay. And we're en route with those 5 passengers to PHNY. Beautiful. All right, cool. Well, let's get this thing started up now. Let's see. Mixture in, prop in, throttle in a little bit, and engine start left. Okay. And engine start right. Got good starts on both? No, why not? Oh, there it goes. Okay, good. Just need a little throttle. Okay, we're good. Got our GPS in. This time we're going to use the, got a little bit of a longer flight here. About 70 miles. So we're going to use our autopilot. Not going to fly too high. Probably get about 1,200 feet. And then we'll take it to the sky. So let's do it, baby. All right, rev her up. And here we go. Oops. I had my flaps up there. All right, let me get my speed going here. Coming up to 70 knots and rotate. Nice and easy up in the air. Beautiful. All right. Flaps are up. Gear up. We need to turn around. Pick up our next GPS leg. This time we get to see the coast. So let's get her, but let's get her up a little bit higher in the air here. Don't need to be too high. I think 1,200 should do it. I like these multi-hop flights. There's 12 coming up. But let's get our let's see, let's get our, oh, let's get the CDI. Where's the CDI? And this is on GPS. All right, good. Let's get our nav on. Let's set the altitude. And we should be good to go, right? We're at 1,500, but that's fine. We can start to pull back, trim a little bit. I mean, to lean a little bit. We can pull back the throttle and the prop a little bit. We're picking up our nav. And we got about 28 miles to our next turn. And now we can sit back and enjoy the scenery. Make sure everything's looking good here and the instruments. Level flight. Nice. Appreciate you guys joining the stream. Say something in the chat. Say hello. There's Honolulu right there. Seneca's a nice plane to have in Hawaii. It's 5 passengers, so you can make a decent amount of money, and it's pretty easy to get in and out of small airports. So it's a nice plane for Hawaii. I'd like to get a SR-20 in Hawaii. There isn't one. I'm not sure how you do that. If you have the money to buy one, I'm wondering if you can get FSEconomy to put one in Hawaii so you can buy it. That'd be kind of cool. I just love flying in the islands here. I think next one we're going to do a Caribbean trip. World Series starts tonight. Astros, Dodgers. I'm sure it's going to be a good series. It's probably on. I think it's on right now. I got to tell you, I'm a Yankee fan. I'm just not that psyched about it. I just can't get that psyched about it. Frame rates are awful on this plane. That's the only problem with this plane. The frame rates are just terrible. So we'll see. I'll probably watch a little of the game later after I finish streaming here. But I just, like I said, I just can't. I don't know. I'm a baseball fan. I love watching baseball. But when your team comes one game away from going to the World Series, it's pretty tough. All right, we're good on fuel. Does this plane have a clock in it? I don't think. Oh yeah, there it is. The clock is actually 2D on the instrument panel. It's not. Everything else is 3D except the clock. Honolulu right there. Sailboat down there. Hey Casey, thanks for joining the stream. In VR, do I prefer Aerofly or X-Plane? Well, they're both very good in VR. In fact, Aerofly FS2 has very, very good frame rates in VR. But I like X-Plane more, even though the frame rates aren't as good, because it's more real world. You know, you've got navigation. You can fly a plane like you really would in the real world. In Aerofly, it's their own GUI to create a flight plan, and you can't use the GPS, and I don't think you could even use the nav radios in Aerofly FS2. But it's, you know, it's got stunning graphics. It's really nice, but it's still a developing platform, you know. But I mean, I like it, but most of the time I fly in X-Plane 11. Now, I think when X-Plane 11 comes out with their own native VR, then I think the performance is, I'm hoping the performance is going to rival Aerofly FS2's performance. But, you know, I really probably should fly in Aerofly more. In fact, there's a couple of videos I've been wanting to do, like in the New York area, and also like some acrobatics and stuff. And I think they have a glider, and I want to try the glider in Aerofly. But yeah, I mean, it's very good. I'm glad I own it because I do use it from time to time, but I find myself in X-Plane a lot more. That's a good question, though. For some reason, the stream seems to be chunking along. I don't know why, but it doesn't. Everything is smooth in my view. I'm not sure why it seems chunky in the stream, but sorry about that. I mean, I'm not using a lot of CPU, so I guess it has moments where it's smooth and moments where it's chunky. Anyway, say hello in the chat, guys. Casey, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. And any other questions about VR, I'd be happy to answer them for you. As you guys probably know, Oculus Rift recently announced that their $399 package for the Rift Touch bundle is going to remain. So for $400, you can get yourself into VR, provided that you have, you know, a powerful enough PC. See, The frame rates are still about 18, but we're good in the headset, 90, which is what you want. But you want to make sure you have a powerful enough PC for that. But I will tell you that if you haven't tried flying X-Plane in VR, once you try it and you get it set up right and it's working properly, it's very difficult to go back to flying in 2D. Very difficult. Let's check out the outside of the plane here. That looks pretty damn cool. I mean, it's like it's in 3D. To me, it's in 3D, and it's like I'm standing next. I'm floating next to the plane. It's wild. I want to try something here. Now, if you look in the upper left-hand corner of the screen, you can see I'm tracking on Flight Plan Go. That's actually my iPad. Do I like my CH yoke? Yes, I do like my CH yoke. In fact, I've also got the CH Pro pedals, and I have no complaints about it. I mean, it's a little springy. It's not. I'm sure it's not like completely like real life, but I've had, once you dial it in and get it set up properly, it's been great. It's been great. Now, I am looking forward to the honeycomb, which is supposed to be coming out. I think it's called the honeycomb yoke. It's supposed to be coming out by the end of the year. They have a yoke and a instrument panel that looks pretty interesting. It's like $200. So I've written the company to try to get a evaluation unit. I'm hoping I can do that. We'll see. But for the most part, I'm really happy with the CH yoke. What I did, as you can see here, I put some grip tape, some tennis grip tape on it, just to kind of give it a real feel instead of a plasticky feel, and it makes a difference. Like when I squeeze it, it feels like I'm it's got like some give to it, like it's leather wrapped or something. So it just makes it feel more realistic than the plasticky feel. These were like, I think, I bought 2 rolls of this for like $4 or something like that. I did a video on it if you want to check it out, but in any event, just a little thing to make it a little bit more lifelike. But I'm very happy with it. Very happy with it. Mirko Thrasher, why don't you use the touch controllers? Well, the touch controllers. Okay, so I'm using FlyInside for VR, right? Basically, FlyInside enables VR for X-Plane 11, right? The touch controllers, they do have support of the touch controllers, but they only work in certain planes, mainly the stock planes. Like they work fine in the Cessna C172, but in this plane, I don't think any of this would work. You wouldn't be able to control anything with it. Also, I just find it a little difficult to manipulate. Pardon me, knobs with the touch controllers, and I certainly wouldn't use it to fly the plane because I have the yoke. So I'm waiting to see, pardon me, Laminar Research when they come out with their implementation of VR. I'm waiting to see what that's like, because they're talking about touch control support, and I think you're going to be able to teleport around the plane and stuff like that. So it might be a little bit better, at least in the stock planes. And then maybe as time goes by, the third-party planes will start to implement, touch control if it gets popular. But I just find I use Plane Command, which is voice control, and that's actually easier than using a touch control, because I can change the radio. I can go SETCOM 1 to 122.4.
COM1 set to 122.4.
So it's much easier to use that than try to fiddle with, put a touch controller on and try to fiddle with it. Plus, think about it. I'm flying the plane. I guess I could have one hand with a touch control, but then I'd have to use my pinky to control the throttle. It would be like too much. You're Italian, I'm Italian too. Sorry about that. How did you get the altimeter heading VS to come up on the bottom of the screen? Okay, that's a thing. That's a that is a add-on called Beni Overlay, B-E-N-E Overlay. Just look it up, you can find it. Could you please talk about the specs of your computer? I need to upgrade soon to fly X-Plane 11. Leon, thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Leon, my specs are, it's an i7 6700 CPU, not the K, 6700 CPU. I've got a EVGA 1080 Ti SC2 card. That's my graphics card. 32 gig of RAM. And all SSDs. Everything is SSDs. Now, the discs don't really matter much except for loading with X-Plane. But, so it's a pretty well-spec'd PC. Because you got to remember, if you're going to do VR, at least for now, you got to do FlyInside, you got to do X-Plane 11, and you got to do the Oculus Rift. So there's a lot that your PC needs to handle to be able to do, VR, flying in VR. Now, once native VR comes out for X-Plane, you're going to eliminate FlyInside, so that'll be one less thing, which means you should have better optimization. But I would still say, for an X-Plane 11 VR system, I don't think you want anything less than what I have, which is a 6700 CPU. In fact, I wish I had a more powerful CPU. But I think at the 1070 or above is where you want to be as far as graphics cards. Hope that answers your question. Hey guys, hit the subscribe button, please. And there's a little bell next to the subscribe button. So if you click that bell, then I will, you'll get a notification when I'm put up a new video or if I'm streaming. Mirko Thrasher, but can you use one touch controller to select some things and use the joystick controller at the same time? Yeah, sure. You can absolutely do that. You could do that. I actually have a video where I did do that in the C-172. Like I said, that's the plane that has the most touch control capability. But yeah, you could have, like, I'll get my touch controller here. See my touch controller right there. So I could have my touch controller in here like this, and then I could, let me just see if I could turn this on. There it is. So you can see there's a touch controller in the plane. There's my hand, okay. Now I'm not sure if I can, okay, so the radio works. That's good. Some of these dials are working. I don't want to fiddle with anything, get myself off course or anything. But it looks like some of this stuff will work. Let me just see if I can turn, like, the taxi lights off and on. Oh, yeah. Good. There you go. So it does work in this plane. So they must have, FlyInside must have added some support for some of these Carenado planes. So you do have some functionality. Like you can't grab the wheel and, yeah, you can't grab the wheel, right? But you can monkey with some other stuff. Yeah, so that's how you do it. There's the touch controller. Right? So yeah, I could be flying like this, and I could use my hand here to, turn on the comm radio. Let's see if that works. Comm. That won't let me touch the comms. Nope. Like I said, it's limited control. One second, guys. I need a drink of water. Give me 1 second. David Cornwell, good to be with you from England at 2 a.m. This shows enthusiasm. Yeah, it sure does. Thanks for joining me, David. Appreciate it. David's a big subscriber to the channel and participates in chat quite a bit. Leon, yes, question answer. Approximately how much dollars for a complete VR package? Well, you're going to pay $400 for your Rift system. And at the time when I built my PC, without the graphics card, I think it was about $1,300. So if we add the graphics card, which was like $700, you're talking about a $2,000 computer. So $2,400 from scratch, and you could have yourself a kick-ass VR system. Drew Austin, do you find yourself lifting up the HMD a lot to look at various items? That's my biggest strife with VR at the moment. You know, I really don't. The only thing I look at is chat when I'm streaming. If I'm not streaming and flying, I don't take the headset off that much. I might take it off to look at like my iPad if I'm doing some chart work. I just flip it up because I have my iPad right over here. Okay, I don't know if you guys could see that right here, right here. But other than that, I really don't take it off much because I can see everything in the cockpit and I know where all my controls are. So the answer is I really don't do it that much. Hey, thanks for the subscription, Joseph. Appreciate the subscription. Thank you, guys. Appreciate that. So yeah, I hope that answers your question. Ryan Gerard. Hey, thanks for joining the stream, man. Is it a wheel or a yoke? No, it's a yoke. This is a CH Products yoke. And Brian asks also, have I ever tried the Vive? Yes, I have tried the Vive. I have a friend who has a Vive. I've tried the Vive quite a bit. It is a fine package. It's a fine device. It works very well. But personally, I prefer the Rift, and mainly for comfort, because the Rift is a lot lighter and it breathes a lot better. The material that it's made out of, it actually does breathe a little bit, so you don't get like foggy lenses and stuff. I find myself with the Vive that the lenses were fogging up quite a bit. And plus, the Rift has just this one cable. The Vive has like 3 different cables, a lot more cabling to the HMD. Although the cameras for the Vive are a little bit better because it's all wireless, the Lighthouse system. The Rift's cameras are all wired, so that's a bit of a pain in the neck, but I prefer the Rift. Ryan asks again, I'm curious, Vive versus Rift for flight sim, especially reading text and instrument. My Vive I have a little more closer because of the screen door. Well, I have never tried a Vive in X-Plane. But I can tell you that in a plane, right now I've got the graphics set on FlyInside to, I think it's like 1600p, around there, something like that. Hold on a second here. And it's pretty good. I mean, I could sit here, you know, and I could read pretty much everything. Now, I've gotten used to it, like blurred reading, like your brain knows what the number is because it's a little bit blurry. It's not super sharp in this plane. I will tell you that in the Cessna 172, it's really sharp. Really, really sharp. And I really don't have to lean in at all. So I think the Rift has a little bit less screen door than the Vive does. But they both do have screen door. So Mirko, you have both. That's pretty cool that you have both, and I agree with you that the Vive wins the race. For me, for everything, it does, because again, it's light, comfortable, one wire, and also I gotta tell you, blown away by Oculus support. I know there's mixed, people have mixed reviews on that. But this is my second Vive. I bought my Rift. I bought the Rift. I had some trouble with it where it was the horizontal view was off. We did some troubleshooting with them for about a week. Couldn't get it to work, and they said, send it back. We'll send you a brand new one. And they sent me an absolutely brand new one. And this was after I had it for about 6 months. So I was really happy with that support, and I would highly recommend Rift just for that, right? Yeah, Brian, I think the touches are much more ergonomic than the Vive controllers. They just fit your hand better, and they're lighter. I just think they're better designed. No, but I know Vive is coming out with their new what they call knuckle controllers, so that's going to change for them soon. Yeah, thanks, Brian. I appreciate that. Yeah, David, I agree. So, David, now if I remember correctly, you got into VR after watching the channel, right? If I remember correctly, because I get a lot of comments, but I remember some comments from you saying that you were going to buy your Rift and you were excited about getting it. Do I have that correct? All right, we're getting close here to our turn. I brought us out over the ocean show. We would turn into this airport and hopefully be lined up with the runway. Kind of lazy man's way of doing it, but I figured, what the hell? I figured I'd probably be talking, so make it easier that way. Competition is good, and they keep pushing each other. Yeah, I agree with you. And actually now, Brian, there was a couple. The Dell mixed reality VR system came out this past week. Microsoft released theirs, I think, 2 weeks ago. So more and more are coming out now. And they're all going to push each other. And, you know, the holy grail is wireless VR and also high res. Because right now, you know, you're a little bit over 1080p in the headset, so things are a little blurry, right? When they get to, like, 4K displays, it's going to be a lot better. But I think in 4K, you're still going to have some screen door. In fact, you might have more screen door because it's going to be such a sharp picture. So I think, you know, that's the holy grail, to get the Oculus Rift headset itself, not counting the other ergonomics and touch controls and stuff, to have the best, as close to human vision as possible. That's the holy grail. Yeah, that's what I thought, David. I thought I remembered that, and I'm glad it all worked out for you. And I'm sure, pardon me, I'm sure you're as excited as I am about native VR coming out. Make sure I'm okay on gas here. I'm pretty excited about native VR coming out. I'm hoping that it changes a lot of things. What I really would like to see, too, is the third-party plane makers like Carenado design their planes for VR. Because once Laminar makes it native, I think they're going to have to. Because like this plane right here, I'm getting 16 frames per second. So when you have 16, when you're below 20 frames per second, time in the simulator starts to slow down. You have to be at least 20 frames per second in the simulator to have normal time. And it sucks, man, because, you know, you're just like chugging along, right? They have to be able to optimize this plane so that you can get at least 25 frames per second. And I'm looking out over the ocean, and I'm getting 17 frames per second. So I'm hoping that third-party developers, like especially Carenado, who tend to have, you know, planes that are hot, that are really frame hogs, you know, are forced to kind of change things. I mean, I had to actually return the SR22, Carenado SR22, because I was getting like 14 frames per second. It was unflyable. So hopefully that'll change things. Mirko, Bambino, have you tried Pinmax 8K? Or have I pre-ordered it? No, I have not. You know, I just get a funny feeling about the Pimax products. They had the 2K. Was it the 2K? The 4K they came out with, right? Yeah. That didn't do very well. It kind of died off, and you would think if it was 4K, it would be like, you know, crazy. And I heard they already got 2 million in their Kickstarter. It's very big because it's, you know, what is it, 150 or 150 field of view, something like that. So it comes out really far. You know, I don't know. I'll wait and see. I'll wait and see. Plus, I don't know what software it's going to support, you know, and how well it's going to support the content, right? I guess they're talking about Steam VR with it. That's what I read that somewhere. Don't quote me on that. Do your research first, but I think they're talking about Steam VR, but because that's the whole thing. It could be a great headset, but if there's no content, then it's basically just a you know, a paperweight. But I think with Pimax's products, I want to wait and see. Brian asks, how do you find switching between your Oculus controllers and then switching to the yoke and throttle? Brian, I actually don't use the touch controllers when I fly because the yoke does a lot for me. I have a lot of buttons programmed on the yoke. Plus, I have rudder pedals, and I use plane command. I don't know if you were here, but it's a voice activated. Like I can say, SETCOM 1 to 125.6.
COM1 set to 125.6.
So I use plane command in VR. It just makes it a lot easier to do voice commands. So I really don't use the touch controllers. All right, we're going to make like a heavy turn here to the left here in a couple minutes, about 2 miles. Brian, when you say what's the name of the app, do you mean Fly Inside? Sorry, Plane Command. It's called Plane Command. PlaneCommand.com. Look it up. It's like $20 or something. I'm not sure if it works with FSX. You might want to check on that. All right. We are 10 nautical miles from our runway here. And we should be pretty much lined up with it, so. Yeah, Fly Inside is the application that allows you to fly X-Plane 11 in VR. They also have a module that allows you to do it for FSX. So yes, that's and also P3D. In fact, their P3D module is what I heard is better than P3D's native VR, is what I've heard. Let me see if I can get a handle on the runway here. I don't know, man. I don't see it. Something there. All right, I think we're going to have to hand fly here. We'll have to figure things out when we get there. I'm going to take it off autopilot. All right, we got the plane now. We got 7 miles, so we're heading right into it. What are we at? 1,600 feet. I just don't see the runway. Maybe it's perpendicular to us. Well, we'll fly past it if we have to. If we have to fly over it and fly back, that's fine. That's a nice cliff right there. Check that out. It looks awesome. You guys see that down there? Pretty cool. Oh, there we are. Okay, I see it. Okay. I see it. All right, let's get the flaps to 1. Gear down. Chat amongst yourselves, guys. I gotta land a plane here. Flaps to 2. Airspeed's about 120, I think. Nice looking scenery down there. Look at that. Looks like lava flows, right? Real lava flows. All right. Good approach. Appears to be kind of a short runway. $90 knots. 11. Is it 1100? No. What are we at? 1600. Okay. Looks like we got one orange, one white, which is what you want. Flaps full. Drifting to the right a little bit. Nose up. Coming to 70 knots. Got a little bit of a gateway there. Okay, whoop. Drifting a little bit. Power up a little bit. Whoa, we stall. Oh no, what happened? What happened there? Come on. Oh no, no, no. Did I crash? Sucks. I think I crashed. Damn. Where are we? Where are we? Oh yeah, we crashed. Okay, well that wasn't very good. Was I going that slow? I thought I was going like 70 knots. It just fell out of the sky. I mean, the speed indicator is indicating 66 knots. I don't understand. I had the gear down. What the hell happened? What the hell happened? You crashed. Oh boy, that was terrible. Okay, well, let's see. Can we do plane command? No. So let me figure this out here, guys. All right, so I got to cancel this flight. Where am I? Where am I? Continue. Well, I blew a tire? It says tire blown. Come on. How the hell did I blow a tire? All right, let me figure out where the hell I am. All right, so first let me go to flight configuration. No, wait, hold on, back. Yeah. Resume to current flight. Let me go to edit failures. Fix all systems. All right, so I guess we're gonna have to start a new flight from this airport where we crashed. Oh man, that's terrible. All right, I'm gonna where are we? We're at PHNY, so I'm gonna cancel this and let's go to PHNY. Lanai. We'll take off this way. We'll take off this way. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened there. That was so friggin' weird. Alright, we're just gonna head back to your flight has not been started. You have no... Oh, okay, hold on. What? What? Alright, let me just do this. It thinks I don't... Now FSEconomy is all screwed up. Alright, give me a second here. Alright, I'm gonna cancel this rent. What if this plane isn't... Yeah, right now it's at... Where is it? It's at PHJR, so... It doesn't think I'm at the right plane. Alright, you know what? I'm just gonna fly back without passengers. Sorry. What can I do? What can I do? I blew a friggin' tire. You gotta be kidding me. Alright, we're just gonna fly back. Let me just check my flight plan. How the hell did I blow a tire? All right, let's get ourselves some gas. All right, apply changes. Okay, so we're off FSEconomy. We're just going to fly this guy back to our original destination there. So sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the hell happened there. That was the weirdest thing. All right, here we go. Are we good for our GPS? Yep. We got the nav on. We got GPS on. Got plenty of gas. Let's get in the air and go. The flaps are up again. Gear up, flaps up. Oh, I don't want to be revved that high. I'll blow the engine. Getting better frame rates this time, though. All right, we don't need to be at 2,000. All right, let's just stay at nav. I blew a tire. That was bizarre. I think that was the plane. I think the plane spit the bit on that one. But good news is we restarted X-Plane. We're getting better frame rates. So anyway, sorry about that crash, guys. I thought I was doing everything right there, and the plane just kind of fell out of the sky. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know. It was weird. Anyway, you guys still with me? I didn't lose you guys, right? We'll head back to where we started from. That was bizarre. Blown tire. I think that was just one of those random failures. But, I mean, the thing is, the plane, I was flying, and then I thought I was doing like 70 knots, and the plane just fell out of the sky. Bloop. All right, let's see where we're going here. Hopefully I could do a better job landing this time. That was awful. But, you know, I guess it's a first time for everything. Heading back to, where are we heading back to? PNJR. What is that? PNJR. I always forget the hell it is. PNJR is Kailaʻaua. Kailaʻaua. Easy for me to say. What's up, guys? Say hello in the chat. We're flying here in Hawaii. We had a blown FSEconomy flight. So I guess I'm not going to make much money in FSEconomy, but the good news is I had to restart X-Plane, and now I'm getting better frame rates, so that's a good thing. But yeah, a lot of questions tonight about VR, and I'm happy to answer those to help people out and get started in flying in VR. It's a lot of fun. Only way to fly, in my humble opinion. That is in an X-Plane 11. Making our way back to Kailaʻaua. PHJR. So, unfortunately, we're not going to make a lot of money on FSEconomy tonight, but what can I say? I had a blown tire, which crashed my plane. It's bizarre. Land in sight. Alright, let's see. Land in sight here. Coming up to our first waypoint, we're going to make a little bit of a turn to the west. And then we'll get ourselves lined up with our where we're going. Again, nice frame rates. We're at 20 now, which is good. Maybe it crashed because the frame rates were so low. I don't know. It was bizarre. It sucked. Blown tire. It's not the first time that's happened. It's happened on other planes, but yeah, like I said, the plane just seemed to fall out of the sky, like it stalled, and I was going 670 knots, I thought, but anyway. Water under the bridge. Thanks for joining the stream. Say hello in the chat, guys. If you got any questions about VR, happy to answer them. They were slowing down again. Wonderful frame rates of the Carenado airplanes. You guys see it as choppy. I'm seeing it okay. Now we're getting down to this 2017s and slowing things down again. Oh well. Alright, about a mile to our waypoint here, or a mile and 7 to our waypoint. We're going to turn to the west and get lined up for our final leg of the trip. Unfortunately, we don't have any passengers, but we're just getting the plane back to a safe place. And there we go. Nice looking plane, that Seneca, isn't it? I love the length of the nose and the way the engine's set up like that. It's a nice looking plane. It really is. Folkor, hey man, great channel. Would a GTX 1070 be enough to run X-Plane 11 in VR with max setting graphics? Thanks. Let's think about that for a second. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, I think a 1070 would be okay. I don't think you'd be able to run max setting graphics and fly inside with a 1070. I have a 1080 Ti, and I can't run max graphics and fly inside. If I do, it really slows down. I mean, this is a Carenado plane, and I'm getting 15, 16 frames per second, okay? It takes a lot of horsepower. I think a 1070 would be okay, probably in like medium to medium high graphics. You should be okay there. Now, X-Plane's coming out with native VR, so that may change things because FlyInside's not going to be in the picture. But that's not until the end of the year, so you may get some optimization there. So maybe a 1070 would be okay for X-Plane in VR then, but that's yet to be seen. I would say that 1070 is probably the least amount of GPU power that you want. Now, what kind of CPU do you have? That's important too, because X-Plane 11 right now is very CPU centric. Until they switch over to the Vulkan graphics engine, which isn't going to be until next year, while they're still on OpenGL, it uses a lot of CPU, so it doesn't effectively use all of your GPU. So when they move to Vulkan, it may very well be fine to have a 1070, but for now, the CPU is important too. So what kind of CPU do you have? All right, let's see. What do we got here? We got 28 miles to Morby. And then we'll... Oh, sorry, to... Was it Penny? Penny, I think it's called. And then we'll make a turn of about a 10-mile nautical mile. So we're about 37 miles away from landing. And you can see when we took off at that airport, we were getting 21 frames per second. Now we're getting 18, 17 frames per second. So it's almost like the Carenado planes have like a frame leak or something. I don't know. It's these third-party planes. I mean, I could be in the Cessna and I'd be getting probably 40 frames per second right now. And I'd be able to run it at the highest graphics spec on FlyInside. So it's unfortunate. You know, things are kind of kludgy with VR a little bit with X-Plane 11. So, and again, I'm hoping that once they have native VR, that'll straighten things out. All right, so if you're going to get a 7700K, that's plenty of horsepower for the current implementation of X-Plane 11. It'll run great on that, okay? I would think that a 1070 would probably be okay. Now, you might want to get the EVGA 1070 SC, the super clocked one, because it's clocked a little bit higher. But here's what I would do is I would buy one that you know you can return in 30 days and install it on your system. And then if you think it works fine, great. If not, return it and get a 1080 or a 1080 Ti. That's what I would do. But again, keep in mind that when X-Plane VR native comes out, it's going to probably be a little bit better optimization, although it's still going to be probably CPU centric. But you're taking that FlyInside piece out, so any horsepower that your GPU and CPU are using for FlyInside will be out. But now you've got the VR engine for X-Plane, which should be hopefully better optimized, but it's yet to be seen. But yeah, I mean, if you bought a 1070 that you knew you could return and have a 30-day return on, try it out. If it works, great. If it doesn't, send it back and get a more powerful one. As long as you have that return policy, no questions asked return policy, you'd be good to go. All right, coming towards the end here. Got about 30 miles to go. We'll put our yoke there. Hopefully I won't blow a frickin' tire this time. That was the oddest thing. Yeah, those are big-ass engines. Let's take a look outside the plane. So if you guys haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. Please consider subscribing to the channel. I do put a lot of X-Plane content out, although I have been playing this game called Gold Rush, the game, which is a really cool game, actually. It's got a connection with the show Gold Rush on Discovery, if you guys have ever seen that. I'm a big Gold Rush fan, and it's a fun game to play, so I've been streaming that a little bit. But X-Plane 11 in VR is my, my balance and fundamental point of the channel. So if you're into that, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell icon too, and you'll get notifications when I put up new videos. I just put up a performance video for 11.05. I always, whenever a new release comes out, I try to run a performance video with the C-172 in the same airport at Boston Logan, using the Mr. X scenery, and I fly the same exact route. And I have MSI Afterburner running, so you can see the frame rates, CPU utilization, GPU heat, and all that stuff. So you can get a sense for how that particular new release is functioning. So I just put one up today, actually, for 11.05. So you might want to check that out. And gives people a benchmark to what to expect. Falkor, no problem. Happy to answer any questions. I hope it works out for you. Do let us know. Do let me know if it does work out and what you decide to do. When you buy, be careful with those iPower PCs. You want to make sure that they have enough power supply watts to support your system. You probably know that, but just make sure you've got enough wattage to support the GPU that you're going to get. All right, let's see. We're coming up to our waypoint here. Got about 10 miles. We're going to make a nice, sharp right-hand turn and line up. Hopefully with our runway, we should be lined up. Although last time that didn't work out very well, and hopefully this time I'll be able to fly the plane. I'm going to keep it at around 80 knots landing. So I think maybe I stalled it. Maybe I went below the red line there, and the plane stalled out. Must have been what happened. There was a red line at about 66, and when I looked at the speed indicator, it was at 66. So that's probably what it is. I probably went below the stall. So let's keep it around 80 knots when we land, and then learn something new every day. That's why I'm glad right now I fly virtually, because you know, flying in real life, I would endanger anybody that was with me. All right, let's see what we got here. 7 miles to the turn. It looks like in the last release they actually added white caps. If you look down there, you can see like white caps forming in the water, which is kind of a cool effect. I really do like that. You know what would be cool is if they could have like random like whales and dolphins and stuff. That would be really wild. Maybe once PCs get more powerful, they'll be able to do stuff like that. Right now we're stuttering big time. You can tell by the way the water's moving down there that we're stuttering big time. Let me just look at 16, 17 frames per second. And that's because of the plane. That's got everything to do with the plane. It started out at 20 and then it leaks down to like 16. So that's the Carenado frame rate hog plane that we're in here. A lot of eye candy, beautiful looking plane, flies real nice, but it just sucks up the frames. You know, I've never flown this particular plane in 2D. I should do that to see what kind of frame rates I get. Everything looking good. Hopefully I won't blow a tire this time. Let's check outside again. It looks so cool. You know, I would do a Bambino livery for this plane, but I actually looked into doing it, and the way that it's spec'd out, it was really kind of hard to do, and I don't fly it that much, so I really only fly it in Hawaii because it's got 5 passengers. Like I said earlier, I really would like to have a SR-20, a Cirrus SR-20 in Hawaii. Because I have the V-Flight Air SR-20. I love that plane. That's like one of my favorite planes to fly. And FSEconomy doesn't have one of those in Hawaii, so I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. So either if I get enough money, I can buy one and put it here, and so I can fly it. I'm not sure how that works. Maybe I can contact them and they can put one in there, or the bank can sell me one, or something like that. I don't know. Be kind of cool to have, because once it's here forever. Because those small GA planes, you can't put enough gas in them to get them anywhere else. All right, we should be lined up here. We're 7 miles away. All right, what am I doing here? Why am I doing that? That's not right. Hopefully it'll turn back the other way. Okay. Hopefully I'll make a left turn here. Yeah, there we go. All right, good. We're going to be coming in here pretty soon. What kind of frame rates do I get on X-Plane original plane? So, the let me just get my flaps down here. Start to slow the plane down a little bit. Gear down. I'm gonna have to get down quick here. The Cessna 172 easily gets between 30 and 40 frames, even higher than 40 frames in VR. It's very, very economical frame-wise. Same with the, well, I fly the King Air a lot too. That doesn't seem to get as good of frame rates, but it gets decent frame rates. But certainly those are really the only 2 stock planes that I fly. You know, the X-Plane stock planes. But yeah, they're very good, especially the Cessna. The Cessna's really good. All right, we're going to slow down here and coming down at a little bit of a steep angle. I'm going to go flaps full. Gear down, gas in, prop in. Good to go. Mixture in, good to go. Gas on both. That's what you gotta check. Gump. G-U-M-P. Gas, undercarriage, mixture, prop. That's your checklist for landing. You want to make sure you got your tanks on both, or you're on the most full tank. Your undercarriage is down. That's your gear. Your mixture is in all the way, or full, and your prop is full too. That's your landing procedure. GUMP, G-U-M-P. One of the guys who subscribes to the channel, his first name is Russell. I can't remember his last name. He's a real pilot. Been a pilot for like 20 years. He's the one that told me that very early on when in my X-Plane VR flying. In fact, I used to have a piece of tape on my on the Cessna 172, so I would remember that every time. But now I kind of have it ingrained. All right, we're going to keep it at 80 knots. Gear is down. Flaps are all the way down. We want to make sure we keep it at 80 knots so we don't stall this time. Lined up pretty well. Got plenty of runway, so I'm not too worried about stretching things out a little bit. I just don't want to stall like last time. All right, throttle down, nose up. Nice, this is how you do it, baby, right there. Yeah, that's how you do it. Flaps up. Brakes on. Let me catch the next one. All right, that was a good landing. Much better than the last time. All right. Clear the runway. Got to cross the runway here. That's what's nice about VR. You just look both ways. Oh, they got flaps up. It's weird floating above here trying to steer the plane. Let's see if we can do it here. It's like I'm like hovering above the plane. It's different than looking at it on a monitor. It's like I'm in the shot, right? Because it's all 3D. That's not a bad job. Gives you guys a different look. All right, we're just going to go over here. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you very much, and I'm sorry about the blown tire. Have to work on that for next time. Let's see if we can get this in the. I always love going in these hangars. Normally they would tow you in here, but I'm gonna go in on power. Actually, I think I can go... Yeah, right through it, right? Is the back door open? Yeah, I think it is. No, yeah, it's open. Look at that. Pretty cool, huh? Bringing it right to the hangar. Oh, it looks like... Oh, there's my car. Nice. It's like a pink, what does it look like? It looks like a Audi A8, looks like, maybe? I don't know. Got a lot of action at this airport. Okay. There we go. Let's stop it right there. Oh, there goes the car. Set parking brake. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Beautiful. All right, let's shut her down here. Get all our battery off, all that stuff off. And that's about it, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. See if there's any more questions in the chat. You guys have any more questions before I go here? What kind of, let's see, nice lady. That was, thanks. Folker, thank you. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate you guys checking out. I appreciate you checking out the stream. Guys, listen, I do appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit that little bell icon next to the subscribe button so that when I put up a new video or I'm streaming, you guys can get instant notification, and we can chat about VR and X-Plane and all that stuff. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button if you like what you saw. Don't forget to subscribe to Bambino Games for more virtual reality in X-Plane 11, and have a great evening, guys. Fly safe.